come here this afternoon to celebrate the life of Adrian Lloyd Sorrell. Yes, we weep and mourn, but we don't weep for those who have no hope. We come to celebrate a man who was the son of the Most High King. He's no longer in any pain. He is with his Savior and his Father. Adrian and I, we had a saying. Every time we would see each other, we would say, what's up, namesake? Because my middle name is Sorrell. I am Lloyd Sorrell Chin. So every time we would see each other, we would say, hey, what's up, namesake? We shared this name, but we also shared a Savior. And now, Adrian is in the arms of his Savior, and we thank God for Jesus Christ. And if you don't know him, this is a mighty good time. This is not a time to weep, but this is a time to celebrate that Adrian is with his Savior. So we're going to pray. So Father, we just come before you right now, God. Just thanking you for Adrian Lloyd Sorrell, his life. We come here, God, celebrating the life of a dad, celebrating the life of a brother, cousin, and beloved son and husband. Father, we thank you, God, for life well lived. Lord, we come before you. You told us to come before you because we have boldness and confidence that we can come to your throne, knowing, God, that we can find grace and mercy in a time of need. So, Father, we thank you, God, that at this hour, Father, we come before you at this hour, that you would comfort us. Lord, we have needs, that you would be present with us. Father, we thank you, Father, that you have given us hope in Jesus Christ. And Father, we come before you, so God, that this family needs you more than it needed you before. And Father, we ask, God, that you would give them comfort. Give us all comfort, Father, that you would give us a peace that passes all understanding. And Lord God, we just want to thank you for the life of Adrian as a good friend of those that gather here to celebrate with us. You are King, you are God, and you are sovereign. And Father, we just come before you this hour to celebrate this great life of this great man of God. We just thank you in the name of Jesus, and by your name we pray. Amen. We will follow the program as read. We'll have Amazing Grace by Curtis Marshall Williams. We'll have a silent reading of the obituary. We'll have the reading of Old Testament, New Testament scripture. We'll have the Lord's Prayer by Terry Akira. Grandkids Tribute. We'll have band notes from his beloved band alumni. We'll have a eulogy by Adrian Sorrell. Hero, again by his daughter. And the benediction, and we will have Precious Lord, sung by Daryl Collins. So we will follow the program as written. I just have to say something. I look at my family. See what a wonderful man has given God. And I have so many that I want to say.
ask you all to pray with me. Pray for me as I talk to Jesus about his goodness and his mercy. Jesus gave me near the cross. There is a precious fountain, and he is free from all he'll then stream, and it flows from Calvary's mountain. Give the cross near the cross. Be my glory ever. Until that oh, it flows from Calvary's mountain, free from the cross, free from the cross. Be my glory ever, till my wretched soul shall find that beyond the river.
The Old Testament reading will be from Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The New Testament reading will be from 1 Corinthians 15, verse 51 to 57. Behold, I tell you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible has put on incorruption, and this mortal has put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, Death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is your sting? O death, where is your victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to God, who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. There is one change in the program. We have a prayer that Araminta asked me to read from Adrian's cousin, our brother, and his wife. This is from Wendell C. and Pauline Chin. With heartfelt sympathy, my wife and I were sad to hear of the passing of our cousin, Dr. Adrian Lloyd Sorrell. On behalf of our congregation, New Life Apostolic Church, Seymour, Indiana, it is our desire for our family to know our prayers are with you in your time of grief, sadness, and loss. Araminta, you and the entire family know Adrian is gone but not forgotten. Every time you see the University of Texas band, you will know Adrian is gone but not forgotten. Aunt Helen, Jean. Every time you see all the children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, you will know Adrian is gone but not forgotten. Adrian fought a good fight and is our example of quiet strength. Pauline and I, like many family members, are not able to be with you, but know our prayers, and most of all, our God is there. We are praying for the family. Pastor Wendell C. Chin Sr., Evangelist Pauline C. Chin.
God my family calls me Tia, but all my official documents say Tian, so that's what you'll see listed. But today, we're all family, so you can call me Tia too. I'm up here to introduce 6 grandkids in tribute. I am the mother of these grandchildren, Coleman, Adrian, and Sorrell. They couldn't be here today because of the COVID spiking and everything. We're in Los Angeles, and it's a lot for a family of 5 to travel around the country during a pandemic. So I came, and they're virtually on the live screen and digitally on these tribute videos. Before we get to the clips, I wanted to talk a little bit about Adrian's grandchildren, if that's okay. My mother, Arminta, and I are from DC. Our family has been there for generations, but when I got out of grad school in '99, I was ready to go see something. I was ready to go somewhere else, see the world. So I moved to Los Angeles. I hadn't planned on being there for too long, but you know how things go, and you love your life, and then that's pretty much where you stay. I decided. So while I was living it up in LA, my mother was finishing up her doctorate, working, and then one day she calls me and she says, Tia, I met this man while I was in Vancouver, Canada. One, I didn't know that she was in Vancouver. And 2, I didn't know that there was a Vancouver in Canada. I always thought it was in the US, so I learned something new. I wasn't paying much attention to my mother or this new man, this Adrian. I had my own life, in my 20s, hundreds of miles away. I was like, Mom, good for you. And then I went back to doing whatever it is I was doing. I don't actually remember the first time I met Adrian. I was at their wedding. I have the picture to prove it. But I was so wrapped up in what I was doing that I never thought about what my mother was doing so much, or exactly who this Adrian Sorrell guy was, or Andy Sorrell. The youth are usually oblivious to what's going on outside of their immediate circle. But luckily, the older people in the world are not so self-absorbed. Because my mother and Adrian got married in 2001, and the twins were born in 2003, early 2003. And it was a tough pregnancy. I was on bed rest for a long time. My mother came and stayed with me 2 weeks before the due date, 2 weeks after the twins were here. And then she and Adrian and Andy came back about a month later when my husband and I got married. And I was thinking at the time, it took me a long time to come up with this, but I was thinking at the time how amazing it was that Adrian was not only okay, but he encouraged his new wife to spend a month, an untold amount of money, because Scott and I had no money, not a bit between us, on this family extension that he didn't even really know. But he got to know us very well pretty soon. One day I called up my mother and I said, I need to come home for a while. I've been out of work with the pregnancy, Scott was working nights, and we just needed a place to rest and reset so we could save some money, save our sanity, and make sure those babies could thrive without having a bunch of stressed out parents. And my mother said, Adrian, Tia, and the twins need to come and stay for a while. And he said, tell them to come on. That's where you could cry. And we stayed 6 months. The man would go to work, and we'd be there. Come home from work, and we'd still be there. Middle of the night feedings, walks, late night snuggles. It was always there. And not just no complaints. He had a smile, hugs, encouraging words for all of us. Me too. Scott, my husband too. And then when Soleil came along, she got the hugs and the piggy toes and the interesting conversations. Originally, I had always thought about Adrian as my mother's husband. I was 27 when they got married. And then he became the children's grandfather. But I think I didn't realize that along the way, he had become my friend. Many of you have known him since he was very young. But I've known him for nearly 20 years. And he was always there for me. He was always there for the children. And he loved those kids to death. he was their grandfather, along with Scott's dad in Detroit. Adrian is the only grandfather the kids really know. So just as I was young and oblivious, teenagers are more so, and they tend to take people for granted. But I pray that if you have grandchildren, you get to see them grow past the stages where they see you simply as grandma or grandpa, and they get to know you as real people. So please take care of yourselves so that they'll have that opportunity. I wish the kids had gotten to know their grandfather as more than the guy who told corny but funny jokes, who took them to SeaWorld and made them eat their vegetables. But what I do know is that they loved him dearly, and they had many fun times with him. The twins just graduated from high school on the 21st of May, and we had a Zoom call with family and friends. We were so glad to see Adrian. You know, that's the beauty of Zoom, you can see people's faces. I had texted him the information to join the call, and he called me and he was like, "You gotta email it to me, Tia. The link's not working on my phone." And his voice was so strong, surprisingly strong and insistent for a man in his final stages of cancer. I was like, all right, here you go. My mother says seeing the grandkids graduate had been the goal. That date kept me pushing, even when the cancer continued to spread, and he had many bad days. I was about the twins' age when my own grandfather passed away from cancer, and the terrible disease takes so many of us. The children took these videos when Mom said Adrian was home for hospice. We knew there wasn't much time left, and she asked us to do little videos so he could watch them or hear them when he was awake. So let's see what they have to say. I haven't watched all of them myself. First, we'll see Coleman and then Adrian, both age 17, and then Sorrell, who's 7.
Hey, Gramps. I love you. I miss you. Hope you're doing all right. I just gotta say, I'm never gonna forget the times I've spent with you, from our multiple trips to going and staying with you over summers and through breaks and complaining 24/7 I'm not with my family. Or not my family, not with my mom and dad, but I mean, I was a kid at the time, and I knew that, now looking back at it, that was probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me, getting to spend that time with you and Grandma. It really helped. Thank you for helping out my parents in that way. It really, solidified our relationship, and I know that I can always depend on you guys, and I appreciate you. I know I can do so many more things with the wisdom and guidance that you've given me over the past couple of years. The past 17 years of my life. Thank you for always being there for me. Thank you for, even though you're not related to me by blood, you're always there, and I appreciate you. It really just is a note on your character and the way you move and the way you operate, and I really appreciate that, Gramps. I'm glad to know that you got to see me graduate, and I really appreciate you. I just want you to know that I would not be the man I am today without you. So I appreciate you, and I love you. Bye, Gramps.
So, this is to Papa Adrian. I don't really know what I would have done without you the past 17 years in my life. There have been so many memories that I know I will never forget, and just moments that are just like really special. But one that like particularly pops out is the one where we went to Boston and we went to the Children's Museum. That was really, really fun because, like, you know, it was all of us, me, you, Grandma, and Coleman, and it was just, we just walked around the museum, saw what there was to see, and then I remember, like, we went to the gift shop, and I bought this monkey, the stuffed monkey, and I actually still have it to this day, so that's pretty cool, and I bought that when I was with you, so that's why I think I remember it so vividly, and then after that, we went to eat at the food court, and I remember that I got mac and cheese, and then you and Grandma kind of both made fun of me for eating mac and cheese because, like, you know, it's what I always get, and it's like my favorite food, and it was a really, really fun day. And after that, actually, I remember we went back to the hotel, and we went swimming in the rain, in the pool, which was, it was fun. It was like, I don't think I've ever done, like, anything like that since that actually happened, which is pretty special. But yeah, and I don't know. It's just there's so much history, filled with almost an entire 2 decades. All the trips that we went on as kids are just, they're just so fun. You took us everywhere, and it's really special and meaningful. And I don't know what I really would have done without, you in my life and stuff. So I want to say thank you, and I don't think that's all of those memories are gonna be in my mind forever. I know that, and I just want you to know that, you're in my mind, you're in my heart, and we love you. I love you.
Mama Adrian, for all the amazing time you've given us. I love you so much. And I think one of my favorite times with you and Grandma were when we went to San Diego. Love you.
Short 2 points. I see I'm up here again, so I'll just continue on. We are here to talk about the band notes that you see in children. That was my idea. So if it doesn't make sense to you, you can blame me. My stepfather loved music. He loved Tower Power. He loved old school funk, Motown, the Average White Band. He loved everything. And I happened to be in town to visit when Aretha Franklin's funeral was on back in 2018. And Adrian watched the entire funeral. I looked it up, it was 8 hours. He watched it all, and he had a good time. So long story short, the man loved all kinds of music. But I dare say band, marching band, orchestra, you name it, might have been his favorite. We asked some of his friends to share their memories about his band life. And I'd like to thank Miss Kathy Thomas Hastings and Mrs. Myra Klinzik for helping with this. Adrian started playing bass clarinet in beginner band in 7th grade at Hondo Junior High. With the help of a new band director, Mr. Sorrell, Adrian really blossomed in the band and participated in solo and ensemble contests, was named to the district band and the regional band all 4 years of high school. And since this is Texas, I'm thinking that was a lot of people that he was pretty good, right? His senior year, he became both the drum major and the band president. He would also steal the show at marching contests with his signature high kicking strut. And I quote, "The people in the stands roared." When he went to UT to be in the Longhorn band, Mr. Harold took him to meet the director, Vincent R. Danino. And Adrian auditioned and got in, but there was a little hiccup. There was no bass clarinet in the marching band instruments. So a new iteration of Band Adrian was born, the one who joined the Longhorn band flag section, fall of 1973. They called him the Black Flag. Yes, he was the only brother in the flags. Even more than his physical presence, he stood out for his kindness, the way he made everyone feel like he was so happy to see you, and he always helped other band members to keep up with the steps or last-minute changes. He was a goodwill ambassador. In '74, Adrian pledged Kappa Kappa Psi in National Band Service Fraternity. His pledge class name was Hey Curie. And when during his last year in Longhorn Band, he earned a set of actual Longhorns at a service award banquet. When I listened to stories about Adrian and his band career, I was really taken with how the people in the alumni band, the high school band, even the middle school band were always with him throughout his years. They cheered him when he got his PhD, mourned with him when he lost his first wife, Alva, when she passed away so tragically. They supported him as he went about life as a single working dad. And they celebrated when he married my mom and settled into a new life. And of course, they were there lockstep during those past 2 years as he battled cancer, through can walks, visit to the beach house, cards, calls, the outpouring of love from his band buddies was heartfelt. I asked my mother yesterday where Adrian's bass clarinet was, and she mentioned he'd been trying to get it fixed before he got really sick. It's kind of amazing to me that one little wind instrument could take a man so far in life. And with that, I'd like to bring Terry back up to sing the Hondo High School band song, followed by the San Antonio Area University of Texas Longhorn Alumni Band. And then we'll view the tribute video from the Longhorn Nation produced by Kathy Hastings.
Thank you for the honor of letting us pay tribute to our dear friend.
Hi, Adrian. It's the Purdy family.
Hi, Adrian. We've been talking and enjoying all the memories from the last 45 years, all the great things we did together. It was a wonderful time.
Hey, Adrian. It's Kathy. Just wanted to thank you for being my best band day buddy. I'm always going to think of you in that picture.
Thanks, Adrian, for making LHJP special and being the best flag dad ever. We love you.
Hey, Adrian. I have to say you've made quite an effect on people. All good. Let me give you an example. Every morning I go to my closet to get dressed, and there, hanging from a collection of Longhorn Alumni Band name badges, is a button with a picture of you on it. Team Adrian. Hook 'em. The button reminds me that among the first things I do is check to see if you've posted an earworm for us or another update of any sort. You see, your posts are conspicuous in their absence. So often the news has been good because there you were. Tower Power Link. Good start to the day. And then there are the days where there's no update and I worry. And I don't think I'm alone. I see comments from your many friends, and I think many of them must do exactly the same thing, or something similar, or follow you even more than I do. Know that you're loved, and we miss your smiling face, and we always pray for the best for you, because you're a part of us, and you always will be.
Adrian, I was very sorry to hear about your recent diagnosis, and I truly don't know what to say. I'm very sorry. I'm a Christian, and I believe we will meet someday, because that is the life everlasting. And I can only hope that you have achieved peace for you and your family. I know this is difficult. They will get through it. It will not be easy. Death never is. But just know that you're a good man. And you are a person that is loved by many. You have made that sort of an impression upon so many people. And that's a good thing. That's a wonderful thing. So stay strong, my friend, until we meet again.
Hi, Adrian.
Hey, Adrian.
we just wanted to send you a personal message. I know we'll be on a phone call tomorrow night, but there will be a few people on it. And we just wanted to personally tell you how much we love you and how much we've enjoyed knowing you all these years.
Yeah, you've been a good friend and a good person. Mm-hmm. You've been a good man. I'll just tell you, of all the people that I have known in all this time, all my years, you have really. Sorry, I had to adjust the camera. You've really been a good person to be around, and all the things that we have done and had fun with. It's just great. It was just great to be with you, and to know that I can really think of Adrian as my friend, and you are my friend.
And I think of all that y'all have gone through with Andy's cancer and losing Alva, and just all the things that you've gone through, and how now you and Minta are such a wonderful couple, and we're so happy that y'all found each other and have that support network, and want to be sure that you know that there is a support network still when you're gone, and we will be here. And we think of Andy as our own too. She's family to us, and
and she's really blossomed. You've done wonderful things with her.
Yeah.
I know it's been difficult. I can tell you, from being a father, it's sometimes difficult.
Of a daughter, it's a challenge, isn't it? Yeah. And we were thinking, Mark got to know you through flags, and of course, since I was a clarinet and we partied together, I got to know you that way too. But we're also bass clarinet buddies, and in East Texas, they'd say that your tree doesn't fork when you have those kind of double relationships. But I'm glad our tree didn't fork. I'm glad that we got to know you so well and spend what time we got to spend with you, and watching you blossom through your career. Dr. Adrian.
Dr. Adrian. I know Dr. Adrian.
That was so cool. So impressive. And the difference you've made. I've got my sister who's mentally disabled, and when she was in school, there wasn't special ed. So special ed teachers really have a special place in my heart, because Marilyn hit the 4th grade, they told her she had to leave school because they didn't have any place for retarded people. And that doesn't happen anymore. And people like you who have taught a whole generation or two of special ed teachers have really made a difference in how these kids are being able to grow up. So thank you for that too. So we love you. We're going to miss you like hell.
Yeah.
But we sure are glad we got to know you. You have enriched our lives immeasurably.
Hi, Adrian. It's Myra. I've been thinking a whole lot about our friendship and how many years it has been. And it's really been right around 50. We were in high school, and Jude, you and I were competing against each other at regional band. I remember us talking while we were nervously waiting to go into the rooms, and every year we were seated, Jude, me, and you, next to each other for the concert. And we grew to be such good friends. You graduated, and I thought I'd never see you again. And then, lo and behold, when I get to UT and go to Hell Week, there you are. And I was so excited to see you. And it was just like we'd never lost touch. And it's been special getting to know Billy Harrell as a friend, too, now here in Fredericksburg. And we talk about you a lot. And it's been good things. You've been such a special friend to me. So dear. And you do put your teacher hat on every once in a while and go, now, when I'm getting upset about how crappy the rehearsal's going. But I'll still hear that voice long after you're no longer here, because I'm sure I'll still get upset about rehearsal. And but I'll still think of you. It'll be a pleasant thought. I will miss you so much, but I will carry you with me all the time. You are my friend, and a friend who met a wonderful woman, Minta. You are so special. You completed Adrian, and you've become a good friend too. Know that I will be there for you should you ever need anything. Adrian, I will be there for her should she need anything. And I hope to see Andy again. And hopefully I will see her again. She didn't show up the last time I was expecting to see her. But I love her. She's just the neatest young lady. And I look forward to seeing her again. I will miss you. I love you always. Goodbye, my friend. Rest in peace.
You live such a big life. How can you describe a man who meant so much to so many? But we figured it out. My mom, Arminta, sister Tia. And I landed on the word, hero. Once we thought about the years he spent in the classroom, both elementary and college, what he meant to his family, to his friends, many of you here with us today, online. Once we really reflected on what he meant to us, it was obvious who my father was and who he'll always be to us, a hero. The dictionary says a hero is a person who has moral integrity, bravery, conviction, courage, self-sacrifice, selflessness, determination, and is inspirational. But Dr. Adrian Lloyd Sorrell, or Dr. Dad as I like to call him, was all that and so much more. He was fun. He was humble. He was highly accomplished, but had simple desires. Nice car, happy family, good meal. He wasn't boastful, but when you read his resume, you'd know that he'd have reason to be, just wasn't his style. He was a band major, this has been mentioned. The University of Texas graduate 3 times over, completed with a PhD. Dad was a classroom instructor, as well as a teacher trainer, a devoted father, dependable son, trusted brother, reliable cousin, a loyal and loving husband, a constant grandfather, and a true-hearted lifelong friend. The man was a straight arrow. He measured himself by upholding his own personal code to ensure that he did everything right all of his life. He also knew how to have a good time. You all know what I'm talking about. He was funny. Gosh, was he funny. Some corny jokes, some pure gold. Dad was a comedic genius. It makes sense that he avoided drama, put more time into laughs. Dad didn't budge from his own conviction, stuck to the rules, and was adamant about it. He did not often stray from what was already understood. Maybe a speeding ticket or two. The man loved his horsepower. He may run his music just a bit too loud. Trade beat, and passed on beat. But what else were you supposed to use those nice speakers for? Heck, he even followed the rules of fashion. Saw that sharp blue toes. Yeah. He set his boundaries, and he was okay with being disagreed with, but wasn't disagreeable. You didn't have to think like him for him to be a devout and loyal friend to you. He had space for everyone, as he was very patient and very calm most of the time. Easy in the spirit. That's the thing about moral integrity. It was a trait he constantly showed. He had an affinity for all people, black, white, gay, straight. He allocated his life's work to focus on special education. Students that were most challenging in the school, but he believed that all kids could learn. They could live with integrity and could be a contributing member of society. He had the utmost respect for people who were foreigners, impressed by those who moved to this country and tried to communicate in a language they were still learning to understand. Make it work the best they can. Loved his too. He almost said how much he missed it. Dad's treatment towards women showed how much respect he had for them. He showed this as a devout husband for 36 years to my original mom, Alva, and to my newest mom, Arlington. He was impressed with my sister, Tien's accomplishments and watched her as she grew into a loving mother herself. He cared for all members of his family, made sure to provide for his mother, Grandma Helen, as well as others. He loved and encouraged his sisters. He treated many of his women friends as they were his sisters as well. He surrounded himself with strong and smart, capable women. He raised me to have the qualities he bestowed and made sure that my role models would influence me in the most formidable ways. He was determined and purposeful about everything. Determined for everyone to have a good life. Determined to provide for and make sure his people got what they needed. Through what they call Hell Week, he was committed to staying in the Longhorn band. Heck, he never left. Lifelong member. Thanks to the efforts of several members of the Longhorn Alumni Band, and most specifically the Curry family, his legacy will continue through scholarships in his name. He ain't never leaving that band. The Black Flag, he called himself. A name that will forever be a marker and a brick on the university's campus. Dad made sure to finish his days doing everything he could imagine. The last time he marched in the Longhorn Alumni Band, he'd just gotten out of the hospital, but insisted. And his dear band friends made accommodations for him to be able to march. As much as he's a Longhorn, he was a Hondo Owl first. He went one last time to a Hondo football game while sick. He cherished his hometown and his high school. Tower Power concert. He went to 3. Once by himself with a Keno bag attached to him. He told me he sat down a few times, but he was jamming, singing every word. Complained he didn't hear all of his favorite songs. They only have so much time, Dad. He went with Mom at the end of last year to 2 nights in a row at the Power concert. We joked with him that he could listen to those songs that they just came out on the radio. When it came to his doctorate, Dad was incredibly determined to complete his mission. There were people who had been in it for a while who were still in it whenever he graduated. He felt the need to get through it as quickly as possible. It took him 3 years to get his doctorate. By the end of it, last year and some change, he worked and he took care of his house in Austin, while my mom, Alva, took care of her father in Prairie, and both were back and forth every other weekend. It's 7-year-old. Yeah, he was determined. Albeit my dad was not a risk taker, he showed great courageousness. From the humble beginnings of his hometown in Congo, Texas, where he spent his entire upbringing, where in high school he joined the band as a bass clarinet player and grew into drum major his senior year. His grandfather, whom he called Daddy, passed away at the top of that year. He was ever so grateful to my grandmother, Helen, who moved to Hondo so that he could finish up that last year there. It mattered so much to him that he did the same for me and stayed in Cyprus after my original mom passed, so I wouldn't be separated from friendships like Juan, and from my environment. Dad got out of Hondo and got himself to college, all the way through with a PhD. In Texas, while black at a time, it is not common, nor hardly any others who came from a background quite like his. He grew up in segregation, and in just 10 years of the passage of the Civil Rights Act, he was accepted to a huge, big city university. Incredible. He only went to 4 schools all of his life. Speaks volumes to how loyal he is, and also to the fact the man did not like change. Yet he went out into the world and had so many different experiences. He was extremely open-minded. His mindset was shaped by his hardships, and Dad assured himself that he would live his life by making sure he wasn't a catalyst for someone else's hardships. His life had cycles that came around. His grandfather took him and his sisters in, and then years later, 3 others, Tia, and not even 1-year-old twins, Coleman and Olivia, needed a place to stay without hesitation to provide that service. He gave game day tickets to his cousins, later his friends and Mom and Ted. Got him hooked up with the best 3 years of game days that he could have hoped for. His grandfather wasn't able to see his graduation, but he preserved to see the twins on their special day. He watched me go through cancer and made sure I was well taken care of. Gave me my shots, saw it repeat. And as he battled his own, he found that territory all too familiar. He sacrificed to see Coleman and Olivia's graduation. The only thing keeping him alive was being in the hospital, getting blood transfusions, putting up with all that he endured with rehab, etc. He knew he wasn't being treated for cancer anymore. The only thing that he could do was be in the rehab hospital instead of coming home for peaceful life, which it eventually was. All of this, and he still never knew for sure if he was good enough or if he contributed enough. He was truly inspirational. He was the oldest brother, one of the oldest cousins, All the younger ones looked up to him. Even some of the younger cousins joined the band because he joined the band. In the 15 years of teaching elementary school, inspired thousands of little kids with special needs, thousands of college students, countless numbers of teacher trainees, special education teachers who took on the most challenging and worked with them to learn and grow, inspiring ones he didn't even know his influence reached. Inspired others to have patience by example. His brothers and sisters took on qualities to be like them. Witty, humorous. He used Longhorn paraphernalia, or that of other fandoms, as a way to connect with people and start conversations wherever he went. A part of his nonverbal communication skills, even when not saying things, you're saying something. He connected with part of the community and showed his pride through what he wore. He instilled a foundation of technology in me. Had everything hooked up to the nines. I have no trouble setting up systems today. He hadn't taught Mom to use it all, but he inspired her to learn. Speaking of electronics, his college buddy said he'd be out trying to figure out how to buy a car, and he'd be figuring out how to get the latest and greatest stereo equipment. Makes sense. He loves music and was going to be a music major. Dad was proud and he loved deeply and unending all of his lifetime. He loved being from Hondo and its town's motto, "This is God's country. Don't drive here like hell." He was proud of representing his town's high school as band major. He loved all of his schools, both the ones he attended and taught at. Loved school, loved education, teaching, learning, loved the field of special education. That he was a life member of the Texas X's at the University of Texas Alumni Band. He loved the fact that he and Mom had so much in common. Both have PhDs, enjoyed intellectual conversations and regular everyday conversations. Loved that my mom had her master's in mathematics and worked at IBM as a computer programmer. Nurtured it. Loved his family, his parents, his dear cousins, his friends. So much so, he treated them like family. He loved being a father and grandfather. Consistently tried to be his best at it. He didn't have to try. It was so natural to him. Loved the beach house, and its official name is Adrian's porch. Dad didn't swim or fish or anything, but he would sit on the porch for hours and hours. He loved walking the jetty and trying. I don't think ever successfully capturing a picture of those dolphins. He tried. He took pride in the decor and loved having groups of people over there. Everywhere he went, whether back home, Hondo, UT campus, the beach house, or his home. Dad was a constant tour guide who would show it off and tell the same stories. He didn't mind hearing. He's good at it. Telling the story. I'm so grateful to the fact that so many people expressed how much he meant to them when they had time to tell him. He felt so blessed and realized how people felt about him. To hear from family and friends how much he impacted their lives. That saw himself as a little dude just chugging along. It more than surprised him to see the perpetual effect he granted so many lives. He didn't understand why anyone would name scholarships for him or contribute money to his health or well-being. Thousands of dollars came pouring in from complete strangers as well as close family and friends. He was overjoyed and altogether blown away. Never thought of himself as special, yet he remained so special to so many people. He's a devoted and adored son, committed brother, looked up to his cousins, and by his cousin's wife, daughter, and many, many friends. He never knew if he was good enough or smart enough. He was. He far surpassed it. He was treasured and brilliant. Dad is forever more connected to this world than he would ever give himself credit for, and probably still ever knew. That is the life of Adrian Lloyd Sorrell. Whether he inspired you or if you knew him at all, there's a little Adrian in all of us. That man had soul with a capital S. It's a terrible song. He may not have thought himself as a hero, but that's how we saw him, because that's who he was. My hero. Rest in power, Pop's alive. There's a hero. If you look inside your heart, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer. If you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on. You don't cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. It's a long road when you face this world alone. No one reaches out a hand for you to hold. You can find love. You search within yourself, and the emptiness you felt will disappear. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on. You'll cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like
that saved. Rest like me. I once was alone. Whoa, but now I'm found. I was friend, lost but now I'm found through trial, truth, and now I found. Oh, don't you know it was time when I found myself lost. I once was alone. Whoa, but now I'm found. Oh, I was blind, but now I'm so found.
As this is the closing benediction word for my family, my auntie, Larry, from the Word of God. Now may the God of all hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing. Yes. So that you will abound, say again, so that you will abound in hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Yes. And that is my prayer for you. And St. Peter. Yes. May God fill you with all joy.
For as much as it has pleased the Almighty God in his wise providence to take out of this world the soul of our deceased brother, we therefore would tenderly offer him back to Mother Earth which he came. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, and dust to dust. And we'll be looking for the general resurrection, the last day of the life of the world to come through our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.
Also, on behalf of the entire staff of the funeral home, would also like to offer our condolences to the family and dear friends. To those ministers who spoke today, those wonderful words of comfort, to the family, we'd like to say thank you. And also to you, Dr. Sorrell, we'd like to say thank you for allowing us, the Lewis Funeral Home, to be a part of this homegoing celebration today. May God continue to bless each and every one of you. May our continued prayer and stay safe. Thank you.